Whoa! I don't know why I said whoa so high. Hi.
Hey,
Hello, everybody of the future Fandation, of the Fandation Nation. My name is Fernie. I'm joined with my co-host Gabe. Hello, Gabe.
sup? How are you guys doing?
How are you, Gabe?
Pretty good, pretty good. Some stuff that we're gonna have to talk about later that
Oh
may
yeah,
not be
dude.
so fine, but
We going in. Hey, unlimited cold cuts.
5 minutes late. Damn, we're being called out.
We're not. Okay, first of all, we've been live for 4 minutes. Okay, so the pre-lobby has been popping for 4 minutes. First of all, so technically 2 minutes late. So get your facts straight, Mr. Cold Cuts. Okay, what are you, salami? Jesus.
Salami, bologna.
Well, welcome.
Pepperoni.
You know, before the show starts, Gabe would like to say a 100% happy birthday to who?
To John Hamm, the MCU's Doctor Doom.
Yeah, unconfirmed or confirmed by Gabe.
Confirmed.
Confirmed by
by me.
Gabe, but happy birthday to John Hamm, the MCU's Doctor Doom. Dude, hey, I mean, honestly, I'd be down for John Hamm as Doctor Doom, but I think I'm more of I'm kind of on the God, what's his name? Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I kind of really want
JGL.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
I like that. I've also seen
Hashtag bring him back as Robin. We never
What's
got
it
that
called?
story arc.
the guy that played the Django's friend in Django Unchained. The German guy.
I do not recall. I'm gonna have to look that up later. Checking the facts. He's fact checking.
Yeah, I don't know why I can't think of his name. Christoph Waltz.
Oh, I've heard of Christoph Waltz. Yeah, I can see it.
You think he'd be a cool Doctor Doom too,
Well,
but
hey. Well,
we'll see. When
we're
we
not
get there.
talking no Marvel today, all right? We're talking Star Wars. We're gonna be getting into Star Wars today. It's gonna be fun. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. We're gonna talk about Gabe's favorite person, Kathleen Kennedy. His favorite person. We're gonna talk about who is like stoned writing the High Republic right now, because like they have to be high writing the High Republic, because we got Geode. We'll get hit to him later. And then we have Barryaga, a Wookiee I want to talk about. We'll get into him a little later as well. And then we're gonna end it off with the Bad Batch, and we have like the confirmation of the release date already confirmed, coming out to Z Plus. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about some questions that I have that we can open up to the chat as well, because it's conversation, and none of these questions that I'm bringing up are confirmed in any way. Only like 2 things of that are confirmed, but I have like questions based off the things that are confirmed. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But before we get all of that, we have a new segment on the show. What? A segment? Right? What is that even about? Well, we have a new segment called Kevin's Theater. Name work in progress. Let us know in the chat if you have any better names, because we're working on it.
Cooler segment name, yeah.
Yeah. Cool segment name, work in progress. But we will be heading into the theater with our homeboy Kevin, the fuzzy pigeon himself, Mr. Cavacity, Mr. Leviticus, whatever name if you will. We will be hopping into the theater with him in just a minute, and he will be reviewing a movie that he just saw, which I will reveal. I'll let him talk about it. It's gonna be really fun. It's gonna be really cool. We're all gonna hop into the theater. No shoving, no pushing. Everyone, don't. I swear to God. Unlimited cold cuts. I'm looking at you. If you drop one popcorn kernel on the ground, it's it. That's it.
Shutting it down.
We're shutting it down. No one better drop. For Kevin's sake, no one better drop one popcorn kernel on the ground. All right. Okay, so let's I'm vegan. You know what? Let's not waste any time. Let's hop right into it. All right. We're gonna go into a little intro thing for you guys to watch, and then we're gonna hop right into it. Okay. And cool. Let's go. Now, Kev. Whoa, this is a nice theater, man.
Wow.
I can't believe there's a whole movie theater in a science lab.
Right.
It's
We gotta have the home theater and the surround sound.
It's like
Yeah,
a
we
Doctor Who type situation.
we got a whole
Or-
thing. It is bigger on the inside in a lot of ways. Hello, Kevin.
Hello.
Welcome.
Yes.
Introduce
Thank
yourself before we get into this thing. This
Well,
is new.
I guess you kind of did a good job at the beginning. My name is Kevin.
But do it better.
AKA the Pigeon, AKA Kevosity, AKA as Aaron likes to call me, Levititious. Yeah. And I think that's about it. A
Yeah.
lot of AKAs.
Yeah. All right. So we're doing a movie review, right? I'm gonna let you take it off
Yes.
from here. Go ahead.
Okay, well, I'm reviewing Monster Hunter, which was a movie that I watched about a week ago. That is based off of the video game franchise named Monster Hunter of the same name. The game itself is a very popular game if anybody's played it before in Japan. Like, this game is massive in Japan. Like, it's one of the biggest properties up there with like Pokemon and whatnot. It's really big. And this movie started production back in announced in 2017, and it was filmed 2017 and finished in 2018, but wasn't released until last year in December 2020, which is weird because when it was finished, it was around the hype of Monster Hunter, because Monster Hunter World had just come out back in 2018, if I'm correct, for the PS4, Xbox One, and PC. So if they released around that time, it would have been bigger hype, but I guess they didn't for whatever reason. But Monster Hunter is a movie directed by W.S. Anderson. So I think it's W.S. Anderson, if I'm correct.
Wes Anderson?
Let me see. No, yeah, Paul W.S. Anderson.
Oh.
He's better known for being the guy that directed the Resident Evil movies. So
Oh, okay.
yeah. So
Is
if you know those movies-
he married to Mila
Yes, he is married to Mila Jovovich. That's the reason why
That
every time he has a
explains
movie,
Ah.
he always pretty much stars or roles in the movie because they're married and he gives her a job,
I love the Resident Evil movies, but hey,
No, yeah, the Resident Evil, the
Hey.
movies are great.
that's
Fourth one was whatever, but
that's funny. Okay.
Okay. So there's the director by W.S. Anderson, starring Mia Jovovich, and it has Tony Jaa. If you know who Tony Jaa is, he's considered basically he was considered the new Jackie Chan when it came to Chinese martial arts movies. He came out and I think it was a Protector. I think is called the movie. He's come out in a few like Chinese martial arts kung fu movies that came out here in the West Side and whatnot. That are pretty well done, pretty well received. He's a great actor. He's a good martial artist too. And it has Ron Perlman. I had no idea it had Ron Perlman in the movie until I watched the movie. I was like, what the freak? It's Ron Perlman.
Okay.
So that was interesting. So the movie basically takes place in our real world. A storm appears. Let me go back. Mila Jovovich and she has a squad. She's a soldier, and she's a military with her comrades and squad, whatever. With T.I. is in it. He's also in the movie for a hot second. So the movie starts with these soldiers coming into I guess they're in the desert somewhere, maybe in Middle East, maybe. It doesn't really tell you where they are. It's kind of desert somewhere, and they're just kind of driving their vehicles in the desert. And the storm comes out of nowhere, picks them up, and there's like lightning and special effects, and then they appear in this world of Monster Hunter. It's called the New World.
Wait. So they like teleport to a
Yes,
different...
it's a teleportation. It goes a different dimension basically.
Oh.
There's two dimensions basically in this world. There's our human world and the world of Monster Hunter.
Hey, bro, why is everyone doing multiverse before Marvel? What is going on?
By the time Marvel does it, it's gonna be seen as
It's gonna be played out.
And paste. Yeah.
Right.
You played out.
Yeah, and so they're stranded in this world, but to them it's still, they think, oh, this storm picked us up and dropped us up somewhere else in this desert. They still think they're in the world, in I guess the real world.
Okay.
They still think they're there. So they're walking around trying to check their comms and nothing's happening. And then they notice that there's a different Humvee that they came with that was there, that was supposedly a different squad that came before them and that went missing. And they say, oh, well, I guess that's where this squad went. They were, I guess, disappeared in this world of whatever the fuck. Then they So they start getting chased by something in the sand. There's a big rumbling in the sand. They get chased by this giant force in the sand, and they run away. So they run to get the chase, and then they get stuck. They get tipped over, and they get attacked by this thing called the Diablos, which is one of the monsters from Monster Hunter.
Okay.
It's a big old like horned monster, and it looks really cool.
Now, let me ask you
Yes.
this. In what you just described, 3 scenes pictured in my head, and they're all the same scene.
Mm-hmm.
The scene from Transformers when they're in the desert and that sand thing is like going all over the
Yeah, I know what you're
place.
talking about, yeah.
The scene from the upcoming Dune movie where the giant ass worm comes out of the sand, and then the scene from Mandalorian season 2 episode 1 where the giant
giant
worm is coming out of the sand.
Very similar.
So am I picturing it right in my head?
Yes, basically.
Okay.
You-
Carry
you're
on.
correct, Yeah.
Carry on.
Because this monster, the Diablos, when it comes to the actual world of the game with Monster Hunter, it actually dwells in the underground. It actually, excuse me, it actually lives in the desert area. Like when you play the game, you go and fight it. It actually lives in the desert area, and it burrows underground and chases you that way. So when it comes to that, it's very similar and correct. Well, the thing about the movie is that it's rated PG-13, so no blood and gore. There's a scene in the movie where one of her squad mates gets impaled by the Diablo's horn because it has a big giant horn. If you see, I think the movie poster, I think you have with
Yeah.
you,
That thing has a big old horn.
Yeah, that right there, the monster that's on the poster that's on the screen right now.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
a Diablo. So those horns impales one of the squad mates, whatever. And it just, you see it get impaled, but there's no blood, so it's kind of it's weird. Like, oh,
It's like,
it's funny because he does a thing with his mouth, like, spurts out, it's saliva.
Uh-huh.
He just spurts out saliva from his mouth, and when he's impaled, they were just kind of like, okay, why go through that process?
I just watched. I was just watching Iron Man 1, and in the opening of Iron Man 1 where the military just gets absolutely destroyed, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was laughing. I mean, people were dying. It's sad, but I was laughing because the soldiers were obviously getting shot, like their head, their bullets were going into the Humvee right behind them, but there's no blood. So they would just go, ugh, and then bullets would appear, and then they would fall. There's a scene where a guy literally walks up to Iron Man, to the first Mark 1 of Iron Man, and shoots him in the head, and then he gets shot in the head, but he just goes, ugh, and then falls. Like, nothing happens. It's like, oh, man.
That's gonna be the
Sorry.
Blade movie.
Yeah. Oh, I just thought about that. Unless they get creative with the vampire blood, it's gonna be.
Okay, so continue.
So, get impaled. They lose some people on the way because of Diablos, and they get chased by him to a cave. And there's a few of them left, and then they get attacked by these monsters called the Nersillas, which are these giant spider creatures. Those Nersillas are also part of the Monster Hunter universe. The one thing I'm gonna say this: the monsters in this movie were great. Like, they looked really good. Like, if you're a Monster Hunter fan, you're not gonna be disappointed by the monsters. Like, these are well designed monsters. They look great. They sound great. I think they were given justice. So that's my positive report of the movie. So, cave. They get stuck in the cave, and they get by Diablos, and they're stuck with these spiders called Nersillas. Mia's character gets poisoned in the beginning, and she's basically left for dead. So her squad leaves because they get chased by the spiders, and they get picked up one by one. And then she wakes up in this cocoon inside the spider cave, of like cocoon type thing, like all like, oh my god, oh okay type of thing. It's like, oh, I didn't die.
Oh my god.
Protagonist. And then she finds her comrades in different cocoons around her, the ones that were chased off. Again, I didn't give names to these people because they were not important, because this is the first 15 minutes of the movie.
Well, this is like T.I. and Ron Perlman and stuff like that.
Yeah. So here's the thing: T.I. is the only one that survives from this attack right now. So she finds T.I. inside this labyrinth of spider cocoons, and like, oh no, we need to get out of here. And the thing is, he's in pain, and then he notices that all over his bodies are these like spider kind of eggs all over his body, and they also hatching and they kill him.
Oh,
So he dies.
I'm arachnophobic. I'm arachnophobic.
So he dies by tiny spiders all crawling all over his body.
Ah. Now. I just gotta shake it out. I can't.
And then she escapes because she finds a bag of like a military bag that has flares and what was a flare and what was the other thing she had? I have a little note right here. A lighter and a flare. That's what it was. Some lighter and a flare to like make a little cause a fire to basically throw fire at the Narcissus.
Okay.
Pretty much.
In your opinion, how effective and like how cool were these humans fighting these monsters?
Not that bad actually. It was the interactions are not horrible.
Because like I've played the game for like 5 minutes, and I know that like your main character is doing like backflips and fucking flying in the air and shit.
Yeah.
Is Mila Djokovic doing backflips and flying in the air?
Not right now because she hasn't been introduced to this world of Monster Hunter yet.
Oh, so it's a cinematic universe. There's
a training.
Oh,
actually, no. I guess that's spoiler to the end, but there is a build up. There is supposedly a sequel, maybe if
sequel, maybe. Hopefully, I don't know. We'll see.
Hopefully, if this movie has money. But she escapes the spiders, and then she encounters Tony Jaa's character, who tries to basically kidnaps her because he doesn't know who she is.
I don't know who you are. I'm gonna kidnap you.
Basically, but he also saves her because the spiders hunt at night and they're during the day right now.
Oh.
But also, I forgot to mention one thing. There's a scene when they're stuck in the cave in the beginning when they got chased by the Diablos and they're before Mia gets poisoned. We're gonna talk about, but
what happened?
What happened?
Oh, I'm trying to figure out. Aaron's needs a confirmation if Ron Perlman is in it.
Oh yeah, he is. Ron Perlman is in the movie. Yes.
Okay. I was trying to IMDb it real quick.
Yeah, he is in the movie 100%. Yeah,
okay. Yeah.
I haven't gotten to him yet.
Oh, okay. All right. Continue. Yeah, don't jump ahead, Aaron. Don't jump ahead.
Jeez, Aaron.
All right. Continue.
There's a scene where it was supposed to be at nighttime, but it was one of the things where it was shot during the day, and they added a little filter to make it look like night.
Oh,
and that thing looks so ugly. It's one of the ugliest things I've seen in a while. Like I was watching. I was like, this movie better have some great things coming up for because this is one of the ugliest things I was close to just stop watching there.
It's just like if you you're wearing sunglasses, like right, like that type of filter.
Yeah.
Like no, I hate that.
You can tell 100% it was shot during the day, but they just put a little filter to make it look like night. It was like, oh no, that's
classic.
Classic.
That's not good.
Oh no, man.
But yeah, she gets captured by Tony Jaa's character. His name is Hunter in the movie because he's a hunter, so just call him Hunter.
Oh man. And there's monsters.
Yes, crazy,
Monster
right?
Hunter.
Crazy.
Oh,
I think I get it. I think I know where this is going.
Right. Then there's the whole situation where the one thing I liked about the movie too is that in this world they don't speak English, like they have their own language.
The monsters or the people?
No, the people
Okay.
in this world. So situation how a lot of these movies they go to a different world and they just happen to speak English sometimes. Mm-hmm. And this one, no, they can't communicate really. They just kind of communicate by kind of trying to figure out things and whatnot. But there's a little small section where they're trying to get to know each other because they're both getting attacked by the monsters. So they kind of have to work together at some point to not die. And then let me see. What was I?
Hey, you're keeping Aaron on his feet with the Ron Perlman thing. So I mean, you gotta get to Ron Perlman eventually.
I know. There's like a few more things before Ron Perlman. I'm trying to remember what that thing between. But basically, they fight, they get to know each other, and then they're cool. Mm-hmm. And then they have to figure out how to. But they're still stuck in the stand because the Diablos are still roaming around them because they're trying to get to a different location. Because that's where because in the beginning of the movie they shows this mountain in the distance that has like it looks like it has the same storm that brought her here, so she kind of thinking maybe if I go there something might happen type of thing.
Yeah.
but they can't get there because anytime they move near the sand or near where Diablos is, he'll attack them. So they have to kind of devise a plan to, I guess, fight him, like in Monster Hunter. So what happens is Tony Jaa takes her to this little area that he has, and he gives her a weapon, and basically there's a fighting montage of her learning how to use her skills. So in this case, he gives her 2 blades, and she becomes a dual blader. Because in the game Monster Hunter, you have I guess you have what are they called? What the fuck is that called? Not scales, but like roles, and you could either be like a great swordsman,
yeah.
You know, bowman, a hunter, sword and shield.
Do they jump around with the different weapon styles,
Yeah.
or she's strictly a dual wielder?
Throughout the whole movie, she's a dual wielder.
Okay.
So, but Tony Jaa's character in the movie, he's a bowman and a great swordsman. So he has a big ass sword as well.
Oh, that's cool.
There's a little montage of their training to get for her to learn how to use the weapons. It was, you know, whatever. It's kind of cool.
Was she just what was she what was she training on? Like just.
Oh, they were just doing like in the middle of the air, like in the middle of a big old field.
Yeah.
Kind of just flashing the air type of like, oh yeah, you know, the little training montages they do.
Yeah. Interesting.
And so it shows that she gets better at using the double blades, and so they were ready to get up. Oh, we're gonna be ready to fight this Diablos, but they also figure out that just fighting them is not gonna be enough. So she remembers that in the RV they came in with, it has rocket launcher in there. So the plan is to them to kind of distract the Diablos and have her run to the Jeep, grab the rocket launcher and shoot at it. And it goes they basically do the process. Man, I can't remember this part.
That should be a testament to the movie.
I know, right?
You're just,
Fuck it. The swords aren't working. Let's go for the rocket launcher.
Basically. Let me see.
So she takes the rocket launcher.
But so they finally were able to distract her enough for her to go to the rocket launcher. She gets to it, shoots it at it, but it doesn't kill it. It's like it injures it, but it doesn't kill. They're like, oh shit, this sucks. But as soon as he's about to basically it weakens it enough that to the point where he's gonna attack Mia after the rocket launcher shot. And basically Tony Jaa saves her with the arrow shot to the eye from him to Diablos.
Now, how strong are these monsters in the game? I don't know. Well, I don't think there's rocket launchers in Monster Hunter the game, but you know, like, no. I mean, like would
there's no rocket launcher.
Do you feel like that's accurate representation of how fighting a monster would be?
Yeah. It did it in the game. You don't have rocket launchers, but you do have guns that have like explosive ammo.
Mm-hmm.
So they do have like tough skin. So it was pretty truthful to how
it is in the game.
The game is when it comes to that.
All right.
Would you say they were underleveled?
Maybe not Diablos. I think Diablos is the only one in the movie that I felt was better represented when it comes to how tanky he is, because he was also, yeah.
So after this event,
so they killed Diablos after finally fighting for a bit with the rocket launcher, and then Tony Jaa shoots a arrow to the eye of the Diablos and ends up killing it.
Yeah.
After that, they make their way to the pillar and with the storm thing around it.
Yeah.
And that's when they go into this forest area, and then that's when they run into Ron Perlman.
What?
Who is I don't know if you guys I don't know if you remember of the game. There's a character in the game that has like a giant mane around his head. Like his hair is like very big and puffy. He basically plays like a commander guy from the movie.
Interesting.
But he looks so bad.
He looks bad?
In the costume.
Oh,
no. The hair, like the wig they give him, everything else just looks kind of like, wow, it's kind of bad.
Oh boy.
Freaking Ron Perlman. Oh no.
Yeah.
I hope they gave him money. You know what I mean?
Well, the movie was $60 million budget.
So he didn't get that much money.
He didn't get that much
He didn't
money.
get that much money. Oh,
Yeah, and
man.
the movie only made 30 million so
Ooh.
far.
Okay, so was she right? Was that pillar the portal?
Yeah,
back home?
it turns out the pillar was basically the way back.
Was
so-
there any like final boss fight, or was the Diablo the final boss fight?
Yeah, no. So Diablos was the boss from the first arc, and then for the arc for the rest of the movie is the main monster that everyone knows from Monster, which is the Rathalos.
Ooh.
That's the one that actually end up fighting as the actual main boss of the movie.
Okay.
That happens, later on in the movie. There is different, I guess, not Easter eggs, but like Easter eggs for Monster Hunter, people that like Monster Hunter, because there's different characters in the movie that come out in Monster Hunter World. Like there's the girl that you talk to in the beginning in the game. She has like a little like monocle type thing. She's in the movie, and these other characters, which is pretty cool. And then also the Palicos are there, which is also really cool. The little cats. There's a scene in the movie.
Yeah, I love those
There's a scene
cats,
in the movie
dude.
where they literally do the same scene, because when you go to fight, you cook food and the Palicos cook the
I
food
mean-
for you. They had that scene.
Oh,
In the
I
movie
love-
where they had
dude.
where they had the
my
Palico
God.
come out, cook the food, and like serve it just like the game, exactly like the game.
Bro, I said I played Monster Hunter for 5 minutes. The entire 5 minutes, I was with those cats. I'm gonna be honest.
the Palicos were
Those
really
cats
good.
were the
That's
best part. That's cool. Wait, so the Palicos
was-
were the Palicos in the Monster Hunter universe, or were they in the regular world?
Monster Hunter Universe.
Okay,
Monster Hunter
okay.
Yeah. The only thing about this movie is only one Palico. They only show one.
Okay. Was it
Which
one
is
of
the
those
chef.
like smaller ones, or one of those bigger butch ones?
The big ones.
Oh,
The bigger ones.
nice. Hell
The bigger
yeah.
Palicos.
That's cool. Okay, so it's okay. Now I'm gonna ask you a question.
Yes.
Or are you done talking about the movie, or you still have like some stuff to
No,
talk
I'm
about?
just gonna skip through the story. This taking forever to explain.
Well,
the damn movie.
talk to me about the final fight. How do you feel about the final fight? Like, explain to me
So
the final fight.
was okay. It was whatever. It was like, for what it was fine, but it was kind of like if they're fighting a CGI dragon, so you couldn't really do much with that. There is a scene where they go into the real world and fight the Rathalos, because they're in the pillar area with the storm, and she jumps off because she's getting chased by the Rathalos, and she jumps off, and while she jumps off this cliff, she happens to land in the storm or whatever, and then she teleports back to Earth. And then she basically feels like she's back home. This helicopter appears out of nowhere that says, "Oh, we're here to rescue you," even though there was no way they knew they were missing in the first place.
Yeah.
They're just there. And
We had a
then
feeling.
you see, and then you see the Rathalos flying across the sky, and while they're in the real world, and basically the military starts fighting the Rathalos, and
Of course.
the Rathalos destroys everything. And there's a cool scene where there's a plane flying, and the Rathalos goes behind it, and with his claws grabs the wings and just rips it off, and the plane falls.
Oh, that's
It's like-
cool.
it's really, there's a lot of shots in the movie that are really
Very
well
dope.
shot and look really cool.
Okay.
Especially to show how cool the monsters are. The monsters are really cool.
Cool.
And then she kills the Rathalos by using her dual blades, and she cuts the wings open, and then she kind of just like stabs it a lot, and then it dies. No, she shoots it with other rocket launchers, and so it basically explodes like crazy. And then Tony Jaa comes out of nowhere, shoots explosive arrows at it, and it keeps exploding and exploding until it basically dies of a lot of explosions.
And everyone lives happily ever after, or you said that there's the thing.
So after that, she says her goodbyes to them, and then they go, and then Tony Jaa goes back to his world. But in there, it's weird because it ends with them going back, and then they fight another monster, and that's how the movie ends.
Mila
like
or
a-
Tony Shaw or Tony Jaa?
Tony Jaa and Ron Perlman.
Oh, they're fighting another monster.
Yeah.
So
another
that's
monster
like
comes in,
teasing that it's
teasing for the next. Yeah, the movie ends with them going to fight another monster, which is called the Gormagala, which is a kind of like a smoke type of dragon type of thing.
interesting. Okay, so I have 3 questions for you.
Yes.
Simple questions.
Go for it.
One, I'm gonna ask them first. I'm gonna let you, and then you can answer them in any order
Yeah.
you want. One,
Yeah.
was it a good movie?
Mhm.
2, as a fan of the video games, do you feel like it accomplished what it had to do to be a video game movie?
Mhm.
3, was it a good video game movie? Because sometimes video game movies don't have to be good movies, but it could be a good video game movie. So those are the 3 questions I have for you.
First one, you said it was a good movie, right?
Yeah.
No. The good thing is it's only an hour and 30 minutes, so
Oh,
I was
okay.
able to spare it. It was not long. It was I watched
It ain't no
it was,
Snyder cut.
yeah, there's no Snyder cut,
It
but
ain't no Snyder cut.
it's not a good movie. Like the actual movie itself is not a good movie. It's pretty boring. The action is the saving grace is the monsters. It's like it's like a question if you like based to the game. There is stuff about the movie where it basically tries its best to relate to the game or show you stuff about the game, and it's good. Like it's actually really well. Like the costumes, very well made. Like for the costumes for the armors and whatnot, they look very similar to the game. The weapons look very similar to the game. Those look really cool. The monsters are very well animated. I'm glad they pretty much concentrated most of the budget to the monsters. Because that's the reason.
Well,
why
he
I go
saves
watch the
money
movie.
hiring his wife, so.
That too, that too. And as a video game movie, because the thing is that I like Monster Hunter, so I liked the parts with the monsters in it, which were really cool. But as like if you don't have a connection to this game, I don't think you'll like this movie. I really don't think it's if you enjoy the game, you'll enjoy the movie. But if you don't enjoy the game or don't care for the game, I don't think
it's kind of like the Warcraft effect.
Yeah, I think so.
And what's another example? I was gonna say Detective Pikachu, but I think people just like Detective Pikachu.
was
Yeah,
just
that
good,
that
you
one's
know.
just a good
I guess-
movie.
I say maybe like Sonic, where it's
Yeah,
people like it because Sonic. But
Sonic
it's
is
never that good of a
definitely
movie.
no, that was definitely a bad dude. That was a product
Yeah.
placement.
Yeah.
That was a product placement
Olive
with
Garden,
Sonic.
when you hear your family,
You want to get some Olive Gardens after this?
I'm down.
I will say this: if the movie comes out to streaming like Netflix, Amazon, or whatever, I would recommend to watch it, but I wouldn't recommend to pay or rent for it
Oh man.
unless you're a Monster Hunter fan. Then
Man, so you paid or rented
rent
for
it.
this?
Yeah, if you like Monster Hunter, I recommend it to rent it. I guess if you really like it, I guess you can pay for it, but I don't recommend to pay for it.
What if you're a Mila
other-
Djokovic fan?
Then you'll love this movie because it's Mila Djokovic. It's Mila Djokovic everything for this movie.
Yes. She's my queen,
Perfect.
dude.
Yeah, but yeah, the acting was okay, but other than that, it's all right. It's an all right movie. I give it a good like 6 out of 10 because I liked Monster Hunter.
6 out of 10. All right.
6 out of 10.
I mean, that ain't bad. You have any comments on that, Gabe? Have you played Monster Hunter at all?
No, but I have friends that play it,
Friends that
and
played it.
my friend that plays it says that he just wishes that they used all of the weapons.
Yeah, they
That
don't use all the weapons.
They didn't use all
Yeah.
the weapons in the movie.
No, they only realistically use the great sword, the bow, the switch axe, and the dual blades. But they did show the other weapons. They showed the Corvus Glaive, I think it's called, the staff looking thing, and I think the sword and shield. But they never actually used it. They didn't even show the fucking bard weapon, the hunting horn. They didn't show that. That'd be kind of cool.
It's good to know that the monsters are really good. I think studios have learned, like, based off of, like, you know, doing Kong and Godzilla and stuff like that, that really just focus on your monsters. Like, because, you know, Godzilla and the movies have, like, great ass monsters, and, like, the movies aren't amazing, but, you know, people come back for the monsters. Even Pacific Rim, you know.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't watch Pacific Rim 2. I loved Pacific Rim 1, but I heard Pacific Rim 2 was, like, awful, but the monsters were so cool.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I think that's the thing you want to focus on when you're doing, like, anything that involves a giant monsterish figure, is focus on your monster. Because if it looks cheesy, you're not going to have a successful outcome.
Yeah.
And it's
No one
good.
cares for the humans.
Yeah, but except for the suits, man.
Yeah.
The people at corporate love the humans.
Love their human characters.
We need Millie Bobby Brown, and you know what? Fuck it. Bring back Finn Wolfhard. We'll get him in a different project together. We'll call her 12, and we'll call him Finn. We'll keep his name,
Right.
but we'll change the spelling. And then the monster will be, what will the monster be?
It'll be Rampage of the reboot.
The reboot of Rampage.
Rampage.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, one thing. There was an end credit scene of the movie. I read
Oh,
about that.
Marvel.
There's an end
Fury?
scene
It's a
where-
Marvel movie? No
right?
way.
Where it's again because you know how it ends with them fighting the monster.
Yeah.
So it shows them still fighting it, and then you see up in the sky you see a palico come out and with his weapon and then joins in the fight too.
Oh, the cat?
That was it.
Hell
The cat,
yeah.
yeah.
I love
That
those
was
cats, dude.
basically
Those
that
cats
was
are the
it.
coolest thing ever. If you haven't seen okay, even if you're not a Monster Hunter fan, because you know I'm not the biggest fan, but I played it. Even if you're not a fan, YouTube the Calico fucking cat cooking scene from the game.
The palico.
It's so fucking cool. It's so cool. The Palico cooking scene. It's so fun. It's just like a fucking cat like chefing it up in the kitchen. It's so good. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
All right. Well, do you have any final thoughts? Anything to say, Kev?
I feel like the movie had potential, but most likely, you know, I think it came out a little too late. It should have came out like I said, it was done in 2018 when the game was at the hottest, even in the States.
So should have came out.
And I feel like that's when it should have come out. It shouldn't have waited so long to come out until 2020, and then it came out during a pandemic, and then didn't make any money back. So
Yikes.
if there's a second one, hopefully they build on showing more weapons and kind of whatnot, and kind of
Less
more of the
Mila
story of the
Djokovic.
world. But other than that, like I said, if you're a Monster Hunter fan, I would say rent it. Kind of cool to watch. It's only an hour 30 minutes. It's nothing. You before you know it's already done.
Done.
Other than that, I'll say wait until it comes to streaming.
How much is the
just
rent?
give
Like
it-
$3?
Rent for like around $3. Right now you can't rent it. You have to buy it right now. Yeah,
Oh.
right now it's purchase only. My brother loves Monster Hunter, so he purchased it.
Okay.
So he loved it. He loved the movie because he loves Monster Hunter.
Well,
But,
right now it's buy only, so take that
I would say
information
wait.
as you will.
if you're a Monster Hunter fan, wait until it comes to rent. If not, wait until it comes to streaming.
Or
If it-
buy it and watch it with 5 people, so it's
Or buy it
worth
with
the
5
price.
Other than that, yeah.
All right, Eddie. Before we step out, Kev, do you you have a little tease for potentially your next film you'll be reviewing, or is it still up in the air?
I think right now it's up in the air. I haven't really thought about the next movie, but
Come on, Kev. Always be on the money. You gotta think. No, no all right.
although actually, I was thinking if there's any I guess afterward you could tell me any feedback of what I could do better for next time.
Yeah. And I don't. If there's any constructive criticism in the chat, let us know as well. It's an expanding show.
Because I feel like I was rambling too much, but I feel like I could do better.
Hey, that's fine, man. We could tighten it up. We love to tighten things. I don't know why I'm doing this with my hands, but yeah, we could work on this. We're gonna get this show a name, your little corner or whatever, and hell yeah, it's gonna be sick. Oh man, I even realized Cold P genuinely enjoyed the Sonic movie. I mean, I think we did too, right? For the most part, I think we liked it. It was just like, oh man, it was just certain parts,
It
like
was
the
real
product,
cheesy, yeah.
real cheesy. The product
Yeah.
placements, like it got real bad. But I mean, hey, thanks for stopping by, Kev. All right, guys, we're gonna do a little transition back, and then we'll see you over in a second. Thanks for check it out, Kev.
Thank you for having me.
And we're back. That was fun.
That was good.
I liked that.
Now I know Monster Hunter.
Now I know that I'm not gonna watch Monster. I mean, I don't think I was gonna watch it either way, because as I said, I wasn't a huge fan of the games. I mean, I played them for a little bit. It was cool, but I mean, I didn't beat them or anything. So,
I've been recommending that game a lot. The world just doesn't look intriguing to me, but I know it's very popular, and I know
Yeah.
people enjoy it. It looks like a Dark Souls kind of game to me.
it's
Where it's
it's I don't know. For me, it kind of felt a little bit more like Final Fantasy in a sense, a little bit, you know.
Hmm.
They kind of reminded me more of Final Fantasy than I did Dark Souls. But yeah, I mean, I'm glad we gotta love our movie adaptations. You know, Mortal Kombat's coming up. We're gonna be seeing how that's gonna
Right.
turn out. Any other video game movie coming out?
I think Mortal Kombat's the one I can
Only
think
one
of
right now. Only one right now.
Besides the Post Malone Pokemon experience, I can't think of
Dude,
anything
can we
else.
okay, hold on. Who was the person that greenlit that? Like, who was the guy that was like, you know, be fire, bro? If we got Post Malone talking about, you thought that we were friends though, but it was just a sex though. The sex
Lugia
though.
flies right over
him. As fucking Latias is like doing a backflip on the left of him. Like, bro. Oh man.
It's I feel like Post Malone was just like, "Hey, I love Pokemon. Can I do something?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure. Do whatever you want. We'll do a concert if you want."
He was like, they're like, were they just not like, hey, what song you doing? You know, like,
He's every other word was just shit. Like,
like
you had to cut out like every other word. And I was like, this is why you can't have rappers do like these kinds of shows, because it doesn't work.
I agree with Kev. I thought, the concept wasn't going to be that. I thought it was going to be interactive. Like, I thought maybe you were going to go somewhere like in a Pokemon game, and like it's going to be like Travis Scott and he's like walking around and shit. You know what I mean? I didn't think it was just going to be that music video. And like, bro, was no one like, all right, hold up. Oh, okay, so maybe they did tell him like, oh, I'm gonna do this song, But was like that person like, okay, cool, let me just listen to the song real quick, just scan the lyrics, just real quick, and like, oh hey, I don't know if you remember, hey Post Malone, we love you, Nintendo, we really love you here. We like to keep a really great relationship here with you at Nintendo. But Post, you do have a lyric that says, we were just friends though. You thought that we were friends though, but it was just a sex though. And then the director says Lugia flies around you. Now, do you think it'd be possible if we changed the lyric and Post Malone was like,
nah,
who the
I just won't say it.
Yeah. Post Malone was like, who the fuck do you think? I've worked with Doritos, okay? I have a Dorito tattoo on my face, okay? Who the fuck? Nah, I'm sure Post Malone is like the nicest guy.
Yeah, Post Malone's like a big nerd. He actually
is
like,
I'm sure he's the nicest guy.
He is like a giant Pokemon fan and everything. Like, so I'm pretty
like,
sure he wanted to do it. But you gotta know your source material.
If I was a famous if I was a famous like musician, right, one day maybe, and I was given that opportunity, I would do my own version of the Pokemon theme song.
Yeah.
Would you not,
or
bro?
Play something a little bit. Play some of your more.
Nah, bro.
Like,
I would write and produce.
Songs?
I would write and produce my own version of the Pokemon theme song, bro. It would be a vibe. Dude, imagine if a Post Malone version of the Pokemon theme song.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
That would be a vibe,
he
bro.
He could have played Sunflower too.
He could have played Sunflower. Been a better option than, Sony probably didn't allow that. That would have been
a better option than some of these other ones.
Nah, bro. I bet Sony didn't allow that. I bet. Because Sony probably has the right to tie it with Spider-Man. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, probably not. yo, Cold Cuts. What's that one song? The One of Jonestown. He has this song where he talks about the cult that commits suicide by drinking Kool-Aid. And the lyric goes, I hesitate, but then I sink the Kool-Aid once again. And it's a song, it's just called Jonestown. There's a song called Jonestown, and it's about like the cult committing suicide. Mm-hmm. Imagine he did that.
Gosh.
he he's like, I hesitate, but then I drink the Kool-Aid once again. And like fucking Geodude is like chilling in the background, like fucking.
Oh my god. I'm calling it now though. The next gen Pokemon game, Post Malone's gonna be the leader of the Elite Four.
Oh,
Calling it
that
now.
would be so sick, dude. That would be sick. Honestly, I'd buy it. I'd play that. I haven't played a Pokemon game in a couple years because the new ones are kind of like a little too much for me. But
I'll say this right
I'd
now:
be down.
Sword and Shield was by far a complete letdown.
yeah, it was okay, man. I never beat it. I didn't beat it.
Sun and Moon was better, but I think out of the 3 most recent games that aren't remakes, X and Y was the best one.
Now aren't they remaking one? They're remaking a game
They're
now.
making the Diamond and Pearl gen.
Oh god, that was my favorite ones, dude. Diamond and Pearl. I have so many fucking memories on Diamond and Pearl, dude. You have no idea. Like I remember like breaking my DSs and getting new ones because I just spent so much time on Diamond and Pearl. Like I owned both versions, Diamond and Pearl, just so I could get like both legendaries or like I played Diamond. I'm gonna be honest, but.
Yeah, I had Diamond version. I never finished it though.
But I mean, I definitely wanted the legendary from Pearl as well. Oh fuck! What was
my true first like experience was 3rd gen with Sapphire.
Yo, Kev, maybe you can answer this for me. What was the Platinum, the one that
Platinum was one that had both.
It was dude. Oh, I remember buying Platinum, dude, and that one became my favorite because what Giratina? Yeah. Giratina was one of the coolest legendaries of all time. I will say that. Fuck it. I'm saying it. Oh man. Platinum, dude. Take me back. But I don't know how they're gonna God. If they're gonna do Diamond and Pearl with this new look, I don't know how I feel about that.
I mean, it's gonna be the base game. It's just gonna have the dumb chibi look to it. But it's only going to be like that for like the world that you're walking in. After that, it's going to switch over to like what we see like in Sword and Shield and like X and Y and stuff, and it's going to look better. But
look,
the chibi look's going to be hard to get by.
Yeah, see, Kev's over here saying we don't like the look. I like the chibi look. The chibi look isn't bad. I think it's not bad, but I just prefer I liked what they did. Was it Diamond and Pearl where they kind of made it look a little more realistic, but it was still like that top down? I liked that. Like I liked that. That was kind of cool. I like that. Oh, dude, Emerald was great, dude. With Rayquaza. Oh man. Which one was the one where you could get Deoxys? It was like a super secret. It was Emerald?
The third gen, yeah.
So Emerald, yeah.
Emerald, Ruby, Sapphire.
Yeah, man. That shit was
I love
awesome.
3rd gen so much. I think the best gens were 1 through 3.
I may still.
And then,
if I could open my window, I think I have my SP with Emerald here somewhere. It's like, but my mirror is closed right now because of my green screen. But if I could grab it, I would show you guys my SP. And I haven't played that in so long, dude. I'm gonna restart that.
Yeah, I think my least favorite gens probably are 5th and Sword and Shield gen. I hate the starters from those 2 gens so much. They look so goofy and bad.
Look here, Kev. I'm gonna do you one. I'm gonna day. I'm gonna replay Sword and Shield. I'm gonna replay it.
Don't do it.
I'm gonna replay it. I don't play my
DLC?
I don't play my Switch enough, if I'm being honest.
I don't either.
I don't play my Switch enough, so maybe I will replay it. I don't do a lot. I'm not doing a lot right now, anyway. Besides the show, so maybe I will pick it up. Because they're doing 2 projects, right? They're doing the Diamond and Pearl remake, and then they're doing like an open world. Correct?
They're doing like a Breath of the Wild type game, but
that sounds cool. Okay.
It's not the Legend of Arceus.
Look, that is dope for a chibi version, bro. That for chibi, for a chibi type of character is sick. I think that's perfect. An open world, walk around with Pokemon, fuck yeah, sign me up. Chibi all the way, chibi it up.
Hmm.
But I mean, I think I do miss the classic, like, kind of top.
The sprites.
Yeah, the classic look a little bit. I miss it just a little bit. But I mean, it's not enough for me to like. The game's still cool. I mean, I get.
It's like
But
with me and like the Fire Emblem. I love like the classic like Game Boy sprites that they have, and now it's like super, anime, waifu like type art. All the females have to look super waifu.
kawaii desu de, kawaii desu.
Yeah. And all the
Kawaii
dudes have to
desu
look
de.
super dark and edgy. I mean, they were always like edgy anyway, but it's just more so. I feel they don't have the cool chibi looks to them anymore, or not the chibi, the like game sprites.
Well, look, at this point, we can only hope for the best of Pokemon.
Yeah.
But who knows? Let's see. Let's get into what we really got to talk about today. We're an hour in. I think it's now time to stop and go into the conversation. We're going in on Star Wars today. We're going in. That was a little gross. We're going right in. Talk about Star Wars today. Starting off with Gabe's favorite person,
Oh boy.
Kathleen Kennedy. Now, Kathleen Kennedy is notoriously, like, it's controversial almost, like by the fan base. A lot of people hate her, right? A lot of people will demand she gets fired, think she's fucked everything up, while others think she's doing fine and should continue her job. And one of those others is Bob Chapek. Bob Chapek, I don't know what his position entirely is at Disney. I just know he's a higher up. Do you know what he says?
He's the CEO right now.
Oh, okay. Boom.
Disney, so.
Mr. CEO. I thought Iger came back. Did he not? He
came back to help, but
and then he left.
He's officially leaving December something this year.
Okay,
He
so
will not be a part of the company anymore after that.
all right. So Bob Chapek officially said in an interview, they asked him, "Hey, are you guys gonna?" The interviewer straight up asked, "Are you gonna fire Kathleen Kennedy?" And Bob Chapek said, "Look, listen. What do I gotta do?" No, he said, "Look, listen. From what I understand, I look forward to working with Kathleen Kennedy's for years to come." So everyone's now saying, Kathleen Kennedy confirmed not getting fired by Lucasfilms. Kathleen Kennedy confirmed to be staying at Lucasfilms. Blah, blah, blah. Now, I personally, before you go in on Kathleen Kennedy, because we're about to release the floodgates of you, bro. I'm on she should probably just move on. Maybe don't get fired, but don't renew her contract,
Right.
And she should just move on. She should just step away, let someone new step into the thing, because notoriously the Star Wars franchise and Lucasfilm has kind of just been a bumpy road this entire thing, right? And then I think about what Dave Filoni says a lot, because Dave Filoni loves Kathleen Kennedy. He highlights this chick, and I respect Dave Filoni a lot because of what he's done with the Clone Wars, because of what he's done with Mandalorian, and what he's going to be doing with the future of Star Wars. So it's like, I trust what he says to a certain extent, and he says he doesn't understand where the hate of Kathleen Kennedy comes, because he said he's been trying to get Clone Wars season 7. Was that the reason? Last season 7.
Mm-hmm.
He said he'd been trying to get that Clone Wars season to go for a while, and it was Kathleen Kennedy that pulled the trigger. It was Kathleen Kennedy that was like, "Listen, Bob Iger," back when it was Bob Iger, "we're doing this show." And I guess Dave Filoni idolized that. And she, say what you will, but she was in charge when Mandalorian got greenlit, when Jon Favreau got hired, which now has Star Wars going in a fucking great path. Mind you, she was the person that hired Ryan Johnson, that started this whole sequel thing, that turned into a mess, that was properly ill managed, that and then ended up canceling the Solo trilogy, and ended up like fucking a lot of things up. That is true.
Mhm.
And that's why I feel like maybe she shouldn't get fired, but she should just move on. She's had her bad track record. Um, but I don't know. According to Bob Chapek, he is looking forward for years to come. And how do you feel about that, Gabe?
I think it was just a generic rinse repeat comment that he made. Okay, I mean, let's be honest. Is a CEO really just gonna be like, "Oh heck yeah, we're looking to fire them"? You know,
She's gone.
like they're not gonna say that in something that's so public that will be public. You know, that stuff is gonna be talked about behind closed doors and whatnot. So I'm not surprised he said that, but I mean, it is weird that he wouldn't say we're still in the middle of contract negotiations, but he didn't say that either. He just said we look forward to working with her. But again, we're in the last year of her contract and they haven't announced anything that she's getting renewed or that. So I think it was just a safe line to say. But there was also a second question, which interesting enough, someone pointed out that the Pedro Pascal thing with Gina Carano as well.
Ooh.
And they said, hey, both of them made references to the like, you know, Nazis and this and that and, you know, whatever, but only one of them was fired. The other one hasn't been touched or anything. What's up with that? And he basically just gave like another general run of the mill kind of comment, like, well, we don't really side with either side, and we just try to do the right thing and this and that. And people were kind of upset about that, or it's like,
Well,
okay, but why does Pedro not, you know, get
look,
you know, at least in trouble?
I'm glad you brought that up because actually my homie Cold Cuts in the chat pointed this out to me the other day. We'll talk about these characters later, but if you actually go to the YouTube videos in the High Republic section for Star Wars, and if you go in the comments, dude, have you seen the comments?
I haven't seen, but there's
Dude,
a lot of people, you know, bashing him.
all of them are literally quotes from Gina Carano, and it's just hashtag cancel Disney Plus, hashtag unfire Disney, Gina Carano, hashtag Gina Carano, and it's just Gina Carano quotes, and it's like all the comments, dude, like all of it. And then my homie Cold Cuts, aka like Ben, I'm sorry Ben, I'm not calling you Cold Cuts anymore. Like, my homie Ben, yeah, he even said the like to dislike ratio, like the likes were 2.7K and the dislikes were 27K, dude. Like, and he pointed out, like, yeah, this must look fucking awful for them on PR, right? Like,
Absolutely.
like they must regret firing Kathleen or Gina like crazy, and all this must reflect negatively on Kathleen. It must reflect negatively on like Lucasfilm, the company. So it's like, how is Disney feeling about all of this? You know, it's like that's because Lucasfilm is a mess right now, dude. Ever since the going all the way back to the Pablo Hidalgo thing with Star Wars Theory, like where he was making fun of him just for showing emotion, like that's fucked, bro. Like bro, ever since then it was the beginning of shambles, and now it's like,
I just think it's annoying how they try to pretend like nothing's wrong. You know,
yeah,
like Disney doesn't seem to want to acknowledge that there's this serious issue of people disliking where certain things are going, and they only want to acknowledge one side of it, where it's like with the Gina Carano stuff. You know, they only acknowledged her, you know, her problematic stuff or whatever, and then they, you know, quick to fire her.
yeah.
But like when it's anything, you know, where people have a legitimate criticism of like a film or of what they're doing narrative wise going forward, they just, you know, like, well, they're just whining man babies, and they, you know, they don't have anything better to do and this and that, and it's like excuse after excuse when there's clearly an issue. People are clearly not relating to this content. I mean, you can look at the box office numbers from Force Awakens to Rise of Skywalker, where Force Awakens came out 2 billion. Right after that, Rogue One 1 billion, and then after that, The Last Jedi hit 1 billion. But then after that, Solo didn't even make its budget. Didn't even make its budget. And then Rise of Skywalker barely crossed the $1 billion mark. and it's going to be compared to Endgame because realistically, it should have been the same level.
Yeah,
been the
it
same
should have
level.
been.
To be the conclusion of the Skywalker saga. Yeah, yeah, it should have been on the same level where it's up there vying for the most gross film of all time, but it barely crossed the $1 billion mark, and it was like barely inching along. The interest wasn't there. I mean, look at the merchandise too. They don't market sequel trilogy merchandise anymore. It's all Mandalorian. It's all this other stuff. The prequel stuff is even getting more merch now. Oh, they're trying to help us become famous.
Yeah, I know. I want to help them get deleted, but I can't do it on Streamlabs.
And so, and from my issue with Kathleen Kennedy is the acting as if like there's no real legitimate criticism of their films, that they, and the lying. It was really the lying too for me that kind of bothers me so much. We have a plan. We have, these movies planned ahead of time, and we had this.
No, hey, I'm gonna hit you with your favorite quote. Well, unfortunately, we don't have anything in the background. We don't have anything to come from. We don't have any source material.
It's like,
what?
Yeah, how are you gonna say that when there's so many books that you don't have to make directly into a film or anything, but there's a lot of stuff out there that you could have taken from and reworked or done stuff with, but they didn't. They just, again, episode 7 is such a corporate movie. If you go back and look at it, it is the most corporate, soulless movie ever. And then with
it's cookie cutter
8,
and it's safe.
With episode 8, they were like, okay, well, it's really the same. It's much of the same, where it doesn't feel like the only chances they took were saying like, well, don't give the fans what they want. At every turn possible, do not give the fans what they're expecting, what they want to see. Everyone's expecting to see Luke Skywalker come back and have a cool moment. Don't give them that. Don't give I don't know. It's so frustrating just to think about everything that happened with the sequel trilogy.
Bro, and let's make parallels, man. It's like, bro, we look at the sequel trilogy and we see what happened with Luke, right? And that payoff with Luke, for the most part, made a lot of people pissed, right? Like, people were like, hey, but think about the Mandalorian, dude. I fucking cried when
everyone was excited to see him come back.
I fucking cried when Luke came back, dude. Spoiler alert for the Mandalorian, but honestly, if you haven't seen this far, fuck you. Like, why are you? Like,
yeah,
fuck you. Like, I mean, don't hit me with that. But bro, like Mandalorian was able to do something that the sequel Mandalorian isn't. Remember when Mandalorian was coming out week to week, and we would literally just mess with each other? It's fucking insane how one episode could be better than the entire sequel trilogy, right? Like, that's nuts. And that's under one person with that has a direct, like, an internal vision and direction, right? Like, Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni had a vision and a direction, and look how fucking beautiful it turned out. The sequel trilogy had no vision and no direction, and it was just a mess. And I don't know how the fuck. Okay, look, one thing I respect about WandaVision, right, is during the Max Shackman interview with Kevin Feige, Kevin Smith says, "Hey, so you directed the whole series. Like, that's like not like that's like not like usual, you know? Like, that's like, you know, usually they break it up." He was like, what was the planning with that with Feige? He was like, were you guys just trying to keep like everything consistent with like everything? And then he said, Matt Shackman said, yeah, Kevin Feige wanted to keep it all like a movie. He wanted everything to be under one vision, under one voice, under like, it was a collaborative thing. Yeah, but he was like, he wanted it all under to be the idea that we planned, and he was like, so he treated it like a movie. Like, you know, in a Marvel movie, if you have stuff connected, usually the director is like the same director throughout the way. Like, the director of the Spider-Man films have been the same director. The directors or now Taika is doing Thor now. You know, like, so
it's
Disney or Lucasfilm really needs to like step up their game, and if it's true that Kevin Feige was like, hey, I could help, and Lucasfilm said no because they didn't want to follow under the guidance of, oh, we don't want to look like we need help. That's fucking stupid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, bro, take the help. You guys need help. Like, people are pissed at you. And Kevin Feige is like one of the smartest dudes in TV right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He is one of the smartest dudes in TV right now. And then, Ben over here is saying hire an executive with a vision. And bro, they have one. Dave Filoni, dude. He is one of the biggest Star Wars nerds of all time. He's worked right hand with George Lucas since animation days, right? Like early animation days. And he's such a huge fucking fan. But it's annoying. It's not annoying, but it seems like Dave Filoni doesn't want to do it. You know what I mean? He doesn't. Like, it seems like he just wants to make Star Wars. Like he doesn't want to be in charge. He just wants to make his Star Wars stuff.
I honestly think that at this point, you should just give it to Jon Favreau, because Jon Favreau seems to be fine with not directing and just being the head of the Star Wars, film stuff. And I mean, look at all the shows they announced at the investors meeting. All of those shows that most people are excited for
are their projects.
Are the stuff that is relating to the Filoni Favreau stuff. Like, Lando's cool, but I mean, that seems like a Kathleen Kennedy, more involved project.
Yeah.
The Acolyte is definitely more Kathleen Kennedy involved. She's the one that hired Leslie Hyland because she wants a female-centric a show. And it's like, well, if we're starting off already right there, it's like all I care about is having a female-centric cast and show, and we'll figure out the details later. It's like, well, this is how you got the sequel trilogy, where you told J.J. Abrams and stuff, like, all I care about is a female lead. The rest can do whatever you want. I don't care.
Yeah.
Why don't you have a story? I don't have no problem with the female lead, but have a story group. Be like, hey, this is who we want to be our lead, and we need to figure out how the story connects to the previous 6 films, and we need to figure out how we're going to move this forward, instead of, well, she might be an Obi-Wan in episode 7 too. She should probably be a nobody. How about she's a Palpatine, so that people aren't mad that she has all these powers out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And it's bad. It's bad leadership. And with the Mandalorian, people want to keep saying, well, Kathleen Kennedy was in charge during the Mandalorian. It's like, yeah, but if you've read up and stuff, Jon Favreau actually pitched that show to them.
She just approved it.
She just approved it.
Yeah.
She didn't have any that wasn't something that she had wanted to do or anything. She just said, yeah, sure, whatever, do it,
bro.
And you can have the budget or whatever to do it.
I swear, bro, I would never forgive Kathleen Kennedy if The Acolyte is a show about a Sith character who is only a Sith for like 5 minutes. You know what I mean? Because, people, the idea of The Acolyte is that it's a Sith-based show, right? The dark side. Like, it's finally a show that's going to cover the dark side, which is something we've been wanting, right? But I swear to God, bro, if they do she's only dark side for 2 episodes and then she rebels and becomes good side, I'm pissed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I find it hard to believe that they're gonna allow a show to focus about
such a dark,
a dark evil lady, and then she's gonna get killed by the forces of good. They're not gonna do that.
Yeah, exactly. So it's bro, if they do it, I'd be pissed. I wouldn't forgive.
It's also, that's supposed to be at the end of the High Republic, so good lord,
Oh man, we'll get to the High Republic.
So swell so far.
Hey, we'll get to the High Republic, man. Oh man,
I gotta say, there's gotta be some truth to these rumors about some sort of issues at Lucasfilm with. It's very clear to me that the books and stuff are definitely Kathleen Kennedy's group. Those are her groupies, where they're being allowed to do whatever the hell they want without any kind of pushback. And you have Favreau and Filoni, who are really trying to plan a giant story arc, And I gotta say, there's gotta be some issues there where there's settling going around. Because I don't understand why you get these comments saying Luke Skywalker ruined the debut of the High Republic. It's like, why are you blaming
No.
something that would have helped
No,
your interest in
the High Republic ruined the High Republic, bro. The book I read like
I
18
haven't finished the
chapters.
first one.
I read like
it's
18
boring.
chapters, dude, and it's so boring. Like I couldn't like.
I have the second one. I don't even know if I'm gonna touch it because I can't get through the first one, and it's
Dude, and I heard the comics.
nobody wants
I heard the
Plant-
comics suck too. I heard the comics suck.
comics are-
I heard that the other like graphic novels look ridiculous. Like like the graphics like it's like child stuff, dude. Like like Ben Coldcut sent me a picture when the High Republic was first coming out, and it was like comparing the old like it was like cinematics of the old Republic, and it was like some crazy ass shit, right? And then it was like graphic novel of the High Republic, and it was just like a chibi version of a Jedi and like a Wookiee, like in like a ship, and it looked so ridiculous, dude. And I was like, oh,
this may be unpopular to say, but I swear, man, they got like a bunch of like Tumblr artists, and that's their design concept artists.
yeah, dude.
For the High Republic. It
Probably.
it looks so amateurish. It doesn't look good.
Yeah, it's
It's like all these.
I mean, hey, bro, whoever the concept artist for the character we'll be talking about soon.
Give them a raise.
Hey, bro, give him a raise.
That's the best rock drawing I've seen.
Okay,
Uh,
let's we're going into it already. We're in the High Republic era, right? So as we just said, the first book sucked. I don't even know how you're gonna read the second book, Gabe. Have fun with that.
I can't even get past the first one, so I don't know.
But recently they just showed character like videos for some new characters that will be introduced. The first one I want to talk about is a Wookiee named Bariaga Agaberry. Just fucking stupid, by the way.
Wooden lightsaber, by the way.
That's cool. I do like that. It is made out of.
I like the idea that there's components of the lightsaber that are wood, but if the whole thing's wood, it's like
No, I think it's components.
Yeah.
And that is cool. I saw the picture of the saber. It is pretty cool. It's made out of like Wookiee wood, like the Khajiit wood. It's really stronger type of wood. Really cool. Oh, sorry. Really cool. Got like gas. I ate fucking protein, chicken and shit. And I'm all burping. But the thing that I think is what people so people are like upset. Some people in the Star Wars community are upset by this character. It's not a real big reason why. I think this character is in the first book, if I recall. He's a Wookiee, right? So he speaks Cherowook, but a lot of people don't understand Wookiee, right? But the cool thing about this character is that he pretty much uses the Force to sense shit and like talk to people and sense their emotions and stuff. You mentioned that he could sense the Force or whatever using like drifts in the wind and stuff.
sees it through leaves.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. He's pretty cool when it comes to like he's definitely a more Force based Jedi. Really cool. But the thing that got the Star Wars community pissed is because traditionally, Wookiees only have first names. There aren't a lot of Wookiees in canon that have first and last names. So we got Buriaga Agaburi, which is literally his first name is his last name just rearranged backwards.
Oh no.
Which is fucking lazy, dude. I was like, if you're gonna give him if you're gonna give him a last name, give him a dope ass like Wookiee last name, Don't just take his name Bariaga and then put Aga, Bariaga, Agaberry. It's like, man, like you could have been creative, and then like
that's the issue with the High Republic stuff is that
they can be creative.
They're not being creative at all. It's just their bare minimum.
And like my friend Ben was saying that like you think they would get writers that would like either know about the lore or look into the lore. You know what I mean? Because just like not even have to do with Star Wars. As a writer in general, if you're writing for a franchise, you should probably look into the franchise you're writing about. You know,
You establish
so
lore.
so you can look at the established stuff. So you make sure you're not establishing something that doesn't make no fucking sense. You know what I mean? And like so what? Like now Wookiees have last names. Just now they just don't choose last names. You know what I mean? Like, or some can have last names, some can't have last names, or is this an old school Wookiee? Because back in the day, they used to have last names, but they don't have last names anymore. You know, it's like what's the rule about that? And then they don't even call him by his full name in the book. They call him Barry, or Burry, which is just it's just like a shortcut, a little short of his name.
Which I guess is fine because
Burry's fine.
People call Chewbacca Chewie anyway.
Yeah, but if his name was just Burryaga and not Burryaga Agaburry, I think it would have been fine. I think they didn't have to add the Agaburry. I think they didn't have to just.
No, Burryaga is just fine as it is.
Burryaga is fine. That sounds like a perfect Wookiee name. And then Burry is a cute fucking Wookiee nickname. I'm down with that. Fuck it. But like, I hate the last name. Like, if you're gonna give him a last name, make it something like, make it something that makes sense to like the Wookiee community. You know, like God. And now I'm led to believe that his family is the Agaberries, and his like parents named him a rearrange of their last name. That's just lazy on the parents. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it just sounds dumb in logistics. Like it.
Like, bro. And then let's talk about and then after that, after Barryaga, they introduced a new ship that's happening, called the Vessel. And in the Vessel, there's 3 people in the Vessel. There is the captain, who apparently is a Han Solo type.
Matthew
McConaughey, possibly gay. Matthew McConaughey, if you will. You know, hey, respect. Fucking Lando. Lando does everything, right? Am I right? Lando
whatever.
Lando just fucks. He doesn't care. So we get whatever, bro. So there's the pilot. Then there's this other chick. I didn't even pay attention to who the fuck she was. But there's another chick in there.
Yeah. She's like an engineer or something like that.
Yeah. And then there's the ship's navigator. And ladies and gentlemen, the ship's navigator's name is Geode. And he's a rock.
Just a rock.
He's just a rock. That's it.
Not a Korg character. Not like a humanoid rock.
If I can
He's just a rock.
Let me see if I can pull it up. If I can pull it up, I'll pull it up.
Please pull it up.
I will try to pull it up.
It's gold.
Your face cam might get covered for like a quick second, but don't worry about that. Or it might get.
That's fine.
Something might cover
the way
you
they
real
even
quick.
announced the vessel, they're like, Leox Giassi is the pilot of a vessel simply named the Vessel, and it's like, oh, creativity's
Hell yeah,
flourishing
man!
over there at Lucasfilm.
Hey, you gotta love
With
Lucasfilm,
his
man.
ship's navigator, Geode, who appears to be a rock. Oh, it sounds like a space ball,
Oh, where you
but
at?
space ball still sounds better.
Oh man, look at there he is. You know what? I think Geo's just gonna stay.
Just
He's gonna stay on stream for the rest of the episode.
there he is, Geo.
Oh
Who
no!
greenlit this? Who said? Hey, I got an idea. I want a rock character, and I'm picturing the executives like, oh, like Korg, you know, something like a humanoid like rock guy, you know, like maybe like the Thing, something like that. No. Hear me out. He's just a rock,
Okay.
but his name's Geode,
Hmm.
and he's the ship's navigator.
Oh.
Like, oh,
Does he have like arms or anything?
does he have like no. He's just a metamorphic gray rock. Nothing else.
Does he move?
Oh.
Does he move?
we'll say that he does, but he's just a rock. And Ben is right. Multiple people approve this, which is horrifying.
Multiple people approve
Horrifying.
it, dude.
They saw this concept art and they're like, this is gonna connect to the fans, like Baby Yoda.
This is gonna smack, brother. They're like, this is it.
Geode merchandise is flying off the shelves before we even put it up.
Bro, hey, I think someone threw away a Geo doll outside my house. I saw a Geo doll right outside my house, dude.
There was geodes all over my house when I moved in. I don't understand. People just left the figure.
People just left figures. Hey, bro, I'm actually gonna just find a rock and I'm gonna bring it. I'm gonna bring it and say it's a Geo figure
into one of the retro Star Wars packaging and then put Geo. Oh, it's like it would make sense in like a cartoon or like a film where like the pilot is clearly like
he's crazy
and he's like, meet my navigator, Geode.
And then he'd be like, go to hyperdrive, Geode, and then it'll pan to Geode, and then it's just nothing.
And then it pans to him, and he's like doing all this stuff real quick. Like, sure, it makes sense if it's obvious that the character's crazy, but they want this guy to be a cool Matthew McConaughey type character.
Yeah, Matthew McConaughey ain't crazy. He ain't Matthew McConaughey. He ain't Matthew McConaughey.
I can't even formulate a sentence. That's how upsetting it is. That this is what's being passed.
And then, no, look, this is
fans for being upset.
And Ben's right. It's annoying because all of this new stuff is becoming canon when previous non-canon stuff was like badass. You know, like it was fucking dope, bro. But we got fucking Geode over here.
The future of Star Wars,
dude. If he was like a cool rock dude, you know, like if he was like a. Like, yeah, if he was like a cool rock, like goblin type of, like a rock golem, maybe. Fuck yeah,
absolutely. Literally, if he was like a humanoid.
Hey, I bet they're switching. I bet they're changing the concept art. No, they can't. They can't. If they print it out in the book, they can't, right? Like unless.
They're just gonna glue a lightsaber to his side.
Call him a Jedi. Oh shit. Well, I mean, people say, maybe the reason this makes sense, right, is that he is force sensitive, and how he's force sensitive is that the inside of Geode, because apparently a Geode is an actual like word and it means hollow rock, right? Or Geode is a hollowed rock. Mm-hmm. So people were saying, what if he's hollow on the inside, and on the inside is just a shit ton of kyber crystals? So the kyber crystals with the force is what's keeping the rock going. But it sounds fucking ridiculous.
It sounds like a denial, like therapy type thing.
Yeah, dude, this was
you're like,
hey, bro,
this, right?
Bro, this was me making my Ralph Boner video. Yeah, this was me. Me making the Ralph Boner theory video.
It hurts. Star Wars was like going down like a path that I could follow, and now it's gone the complete opposite way that I can't follow. Mind you, this got ripped off of Instagram because they posted it on there and they got
deleted it,
obliterated by the comments and removed it. You can only find this video via re-uploads on YouTube or on the actual Star Wars High Republic website, because they won't post it anymore else.
I bet they're gonna, dude. Okay, watch. There's gonna be reprints of the book. They're gonna switch them. They're gonna change it. I guarantee it.
Oh yeah.
They're gonna switch how he looks. They're gonna make him like a rock person. They're gonna make him a rock person, and then there's gonna be 100,000 versions of the book that has this version of Geode. Bro, Let's get some NFTs on the. Let's get NFTs on those versions of the High Republic book.
Oh my gosh.
On the OG version of the High Republic book, we'll
sell it for millions.
Sell it for millions, NFTs. I hate that, dude. I hate this. Oh man. Okay.
What do I gotta do?
What do I gotta do? What do I gotta do to
Become
talk?
head of Lucasfilm.
What do I gotta do to talk to whoever's writing this, man? Like, bro, is this like the Pablo Hidalgo people? Is this them?
Yes.
Fuck them. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Literally imagine the guy shitting on someone for having emotions over Luke Skywalker, and then
Is the guy,
yeah,
putting this shit out, bro? Fuck this guy. Bro. All right, I'm done talking about the High Republic. Let's talk about something that's gonna be good. Let's talk about the Bad Batch. All right.
The Bad Batch. Geode's first introduction into
dude. They introduced Geode because what if he's a rock? What if he could survive forever? Yeah, what if he could the only way he dies is like getting destroyed, right? Like realistically.
Yeah, then he just falls back into the rock cycle, and he just
what if he's like Groot, like
he gets melted, but then he turns into like sand, and he just becomes a sedimentary rock. And
yeah, and then he becomes Sandman.
Yeah, exactly.
But so the Bad Batch, right? So we for sure got a confirmed release date on the Bad Batch, which is going to be May 4th. Fun. I think it's appropriate. Coming up.
Absolutely.
2 months.
We get an episode that day, and then that Friday we get a second episode. So we'll be getting like 2 episodes in 1 week.
Oh, that's dope. I didn't even know that.
Have they even confirmed how many episodes will be in the Bad Batch? I don't even know.
I'm not sure, but I feel like they're gonna follow season 7 of Clone Wars. Where it's like what, 10 episodes or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably gonna be like that. I don't know if they're gonna do 20, dude.
Yeah, I'm sitting here somewhere between 12 and 20, but I doubt 20.
Yeah, I doubt they're gonna do 20.
From that trailer, it doesn't look like they have too much.
I mean, this is supposed to be their new Clone Wars, so who knows? Okay, look, then let's dive in because I have questions. If you in the chat have maybe a theory or an opinion on the questions that I ask, go ahead. These are open forum. It's an open forum. Okay. Okay. First question: did the Bad Batch do Order 66? Because we do know this is in the era right after Order 66, where Palpatine is taken over, Stormtroopers are starting to come into play, yada yada. We also know that the Bad Batch are a group of fucked up troopers, right? So highly implied they don't have the chip inside of them, right? The chip that made them go loco. But I mean, if they're homies. If all their homies around them are doing the same thing, will they follow it? We'll see. Because technically now they're working for the Empire. And I agree. It's a maybe. And this leads to a theory that it's kind of a big theory. It's not a question. This is more of a theory. There's a theory going around right now that what if the Bad Batch kills Echo, the new, the newest member that joined the Bad Batch at the end of season 7. People think why this could happen is because technically Echo still has his chip inside of him, which means because he's an original clone trooper that wasn't fucked up, which means he could. I mean, if it wasn't fucked with when he had all that tech stuff happen to him, mm-hmm. It could potentially means he will be the one that carried that Order 66. Out of the Bad Batch and not, so maybe the other Bad Batch doesn't do it, but he does. And the theory is maybe the Bad Batch will have to kill Echo, and that's one of the beginning, sad arcs on the show that, a character we've known for such a long time essentially falls into the betrayal of Order 66, so these characters have to do something that they kind of got attached to. It's an interesting theory. I don't know if they would go that way, But it is interesting to think about because well, that's the thing, which leads to another question that I'll ask in a sec. We'll get to that, Ben. But yeah, Echo technically has his chip. The other Bad Batch don't have their chip, so it's either the Bad Batch goes with Order 66, or they don't, and Echo does. You know what I mean?
I feel like Echo might be the key to them avoiding Order 66.
Oh, so maybe like if he has all that tech shit, he'll know.
I think so.
That's possible.
I feel like the Separatists might have messed with him enough that he doesn't have it. And he would also, again, I don't know. I know there was some rumors and speculation that they would possibly tie up what Rex does in this aftermath of Order 66, trying to get like Wolf and Gregor. So if the Bad Batch meets, they haven't shown that obviously in the trailers, but if they were to meet up, obviously Rex has that connection with Echo.
Yeah.
So they would be able to remove the chips from the Bad Batch if they were to have the chips. And therefore that would explain why they obviously separate from the Empire, because it's evident that they are working for the Empire. It seems like at the beginning, with Moff Tarkin being directly ahead of them and like in charge of them.
So let's talk about Moff Tarkin. Actually, another question that I have is, will they work for the Empire? Because we have seen in the trailer that Moff Tarkin is like, what a impressive display while he's walking past them, right? So can that imply that Moff Tarkin, or that they will be working for the Empire? A lot of people think they'll be working for the Empire for a small amount of time, and then they'll like dip away, you know, like they'll break away, which makes people think, will they do Order 66? You know what I mean? Like, if they don't do Order 66, they'll be on the Emperor's bad side, or the Empire's bad side. But if they do Order 66, then they could work for Tarkin, unless they're literally in a location where there's no Jedi, so they can be excused for not having to kill him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm hoping that they do focus on that, Ben, where they focus on more of the transitioning into like the immediate aftermath of Episode 3. Like maybe we're seeing the ending of the Order 66 order being carried out, you know, where like they've gotten most of their targets and that there's still a few out there, but now they're like conforming everyone to the Empire's agenda and stuff. And that's what that Palpatine like hologram looks like. It's like, you know, kind of like propaganding the whole entire city of Coruscant or whatever.
Well, so there is this description of the show that it was a quote. It says the Bad Batch will take on daring mercenary missions as they struggle to stay afloat to find a new purpose. So why would they need a new purpose? You know, possibly.
They also go to Camino.
They do go to Camino.
So I wonder if they will show the shutdown of the clone facility on Camino at all in this show, and maybe that'll also help like transition them to being like, wait, we're gonna kill our brothers by doing that.
Apparently as well, the show will also will have Dark Troopers returning.
Like maybe the first phase of them.
Yeah, like maybe it will introduce the beginning of like of the program that leads up to Moff Gideon having them in Mando. Which, I mean, that makes sense.
I'm hoping we see the Jedi Hunter troopers, the ones from the Purge troopers, from Jedi Fallen Order, because they're clones.
Yeah,
but
that would be sick.
They specialize, so I hope we get to see some of that. Maybe we'll see them
because
like a Jedi down or something.
For sure, we're gonna see Vader in this, right? We're gonna see Vader. He's gonna be walking around, and you know, Vader at this point in time is literally hunting down the survivors of the Jedi. So for sure, Vader will have his squad of Jedi hunters, or not Jedi hunters, maybe what are they called? They were Inquisitors. I was like, they wear all black. They're super cool. I would like to
see the Inquisitor Initiative get started.
Yeah, we could definitely see the Inquisitor Initiative get started. The Commander's Cody's fate, definitely very possible to see.
I thought I heard something that they were going to show that. So we'll see.
I also heard I mean, there was okay. So this is back before the show, Future Foundation started. But there was a theory, or there was a rumor. Sorry, there was a big rumor that what's his face, Boba Fett plays Boba Fett. Tamara Morrison. Will be reprising his role as will be Commander Cody in the Obi-Wan show.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a rumor that a rumor that was going around that he will be playing Commander Cody that are hunting down Obi-Wan Kenobi. So if that's true, then I don't know if they're gonna talk about the fate of that on the Bad Batch. But as Ben pointed out earlier, they could possibly explore Grogu or Ahsoka immediately after Order 66. I don't think they're gonna do Grogu. Ah, fuck. Would they do Grogu though?
They should.
They should. They definitely should.
I don't think they will, but I think they should.
I don't think they will because I think they're gonna save that. I feel like they're gonna save that for like a scene with him and Luke if they ever do that for some reason. You know what I mean?
I'm trying to wonder like what show and what where would that be appropriate to show that, you know? What would make that make most sense?
Oh, with Grogu?
Yeah. Because I mean, as far as it seems Mandalorian season 3, if it happens, will be more focused on the Mandalorian side of stuff than it will be Grogu anymore.
Well, I mean, who knows now, man? With all the fucking shit going on with LucasFilms. I did see something that people brought up that thought it could be interesting to see in animation. Fuck, what's her name? The Jedi chick from Fallen Order, the chick who says Cal Kestis. I don't know how to pronounce her first name. It's Cere. Cere Junda.
Yeah.
Cere Junda. People said it would be really cool to see Cere Junda pop up in the show.
Grogu?
Well, maybe not save Grogu, just pop up in the show. Because if you remember, Cere Junda in Fallen Order said that her and her Padawan got trapped or whatever.
Yeah.
And she was like alive during all this. And her Padawan became an Inquisitor, which if we watch the beginning of the Inquisitor program, we could see all those Inquisitors that we saw in Fallen Order. Very cool, very possible. I hope that's the case. I don't think we would see Cal Kestis. There's no way we're gonna see Cal Kestis.
No.
But Cere Junda, completely possible.
I mean, now that I think Grogu is possible because this is Dave Filoni.
This is Dave Filoni.
This is his project, so there is a chance that he's helping the Bad Batch, set up more of Grogu's backstory.
Now, I do agree what you did say, Ben, that Ahsoka, because they're for sure gonna cover Ahsoka in this show. There's no way Dave Filoni would do one of his animated Star Wars shows that's in the same time era, immediately right after Clone Wars, and not talk about Ahsoka.
Not mention Ahsoka's whereabouts or anything.
I don't think she's gonna be immediately though. I think she'll be either a late season reveal, or if they do a season 2, a possible season 2. I don't think they're gonna do late season.
I could see the show ending with them meeting up with Ahsoka, and that'll be where the show ends.
Yeah.
And if that would be enough hype, it would be enough hype, and it would get them approved for season 2.
Now, we also know, due to confirmed in the trailers and pictures, that Fennec Shand will be in the show as well.
Weird inclusion, in my opinion.
Very weird inclusion. I'm glad I'm not the only one.
I'm interested to see what her purpose is and all of it, but it seems too old of a time period for her to be involved and look adult still.
Yeah,
because the actress is 50, right?
I think so.
But
so maybe her in her 20s. This is her in her 20s.
Maybe this is her really young.
I mean, from what we know in Mando, she's like one of the craziest hip men out there or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So
she appears to be helping the Bad Batch. So.
Yeah, very weird inclusion. Maybe it was probably the actress who played Fennec Shand had a contract that she had to be in multiple projects, right? but like Dave was like, all right, well we'll get you in. It's like fine, we'll get you in Boba, and we'll get you in Bad Batch. You know, and like we'll see where it goes from there. How many years from Clone Wars to Mando? Okay, so Clone Wars was the end of Clone Wars was right after Revenge of the Sith. Bad Batch is probably gonna be right after.
I feel like it's gonna pick up maybe even
Days,
just at the end of Revenge of the Sith,
and
or maybe even during Revenge of the Sith.
Mando is 10 years or after the.
No, Mando is 5 or 6 years after Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, and that's what, like 20 years after Return of the Jedi is what, like 20 something years after.
Close to like 30, maybe.
Yeah, no, because Luke Skywalker is like 20 something when he in Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, he
so
was 19.
If he was born in Revenge of the Sith, then
in New Hope, so he's in his late 20s by the end of Return of the.
Mando from Clone Wars is probably 25 to 30 years.
Yeah,
about roughly. So I mean, if she's 50 in Mando, I mean, yeah, I guess she started her. I mean, in the Star Wars universe, I feel like everyone was like doing illegal shit at 10 years old, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean, it makes sense. Fennec would have to be like in the early 20s. Yeah, I agree. Fennec is probably in her early 20s. Now, this is the big one that I have a question for, because it's a storyline that I hate that kind of got cut and it never really got talked about in Star Wars because of stupid Rian Johnson that fucked up the Solo movie. Because in my opinion, the Solo movie wasn't bad. I don't know how you feel about it, Gabe.
No, I actually enjoyed that movie.
Yeah, I enjoyed that movie. I wanted to see where the trilogy was supposed to get, but because of everything that happened with Rian Johnson and the bad reception it got, no one watched Solo, and then they stopped that trilogy. They even stopped the Obi-Wan movie. Remember that? It was supposed to be an Obi-Wan movie, not a show.
The show was supposed to be a movie.
That's my question, Ben. Will this show cover Darth Maul leading the Crimson Dawn?
They're gonna have to figure something out here because
in this time era is when Darth Maul is the leader of the underworld.
Right. Also, Darth Maul escaped.
Yeah, and then we know in
Solo
Solo that he's the leader of the Crimson Dawn. So like we know from 7,
Outer World bosses.
We know from 7 to Solo that he's like the fucking person of the Crimson Dawn. And Solo is what, 10 years before? So 10 years after Revenge of the Sith.
About, yeah.
So that means he had about, from after Clone Wars to Solo, within those 10 years, he became the leader of the Crimson Dawn. And not only that, we all know Maul, dude. He probably wasn't just chilling. He probably, he probably did that real quick, Maul conquers everything, like, real quick. They did some lead up to it in the last season of Clone Wars. Yeah, they did start planting the seeds of that. They did definitely start planting the seeds. So, I mean, now we'll see where he's going to go with that. Because for sure, the criminal underworld is going to be a part of this. Because we do know from that quote that the Bad Batch will take on mercenary missions. So, they will be working probably for the underworld as well at some point. Maybe they will run into Darth Maul. And that's only I fucking hope, bro. Darth Maul is so cool. Because, like, I don't know. We mentioned Ahsoka had the chance of returning, right? Maybe late season. Maybe that's why Ahsoka returns, right? Maybe Maul's going fucking crazy in the underworld, and Ahsoka has to come back to fuck him up, right? So, other than Ahsoka, do you think there's any other Jedi potential?
I want Quinlan Voss so bad.
Quinlan Voss
and Asajj Ventress, because in the books, they hook up together, like they become a couple, and they do some interesting stuff. Or I want to see maybe if they decide to retcon those books and just do something new with them, show what they're doing. I'd be cool with that.
Ben says Yoda, but well, Yoda's in Dagobah. Yoda fled to Dagobah after the
Yeah.
event, and he never left.
Yoda would only be involved
Via
via
like the Force.
Force communication.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah, because it wouldn't make sense because he was in exile after, and then. But I also don't think they would because if there's another Jedi character and they were trying to contact Yoda, I feel like Yoda would break exile, right? You know what I mean? Because Yoda was under the impression that almost everyone died, right?
I also want to know if Yoda knew about Grogu. You have to know he does, right?
Yeah, he has
It's
to
the same
know.
species as him.
He has to know about Grogu. He knew. No, he for sure. Oh, we're talking about like in general.
Well,
Oh,
okay,
100% he knew about Grogu in general.
I have a theory.
Oh. Okay. Ooh.
In Clone Wars, Yoda gets a vision that basically the Jedi Order will fall apart, and he does nothing to stop it because he knows it's the will of the Force. He gets those dark visions, right? He sees that basically Anakin will kind of like turn to the dark side and like, okay, the Jedi Order is gonna fall. We know that Grogu is saved from the Jedi Temple, and if you really look at Episode 7, Revenge of the Sith, there is zero time from the time that Anakin turns to the going to the Jedi Temple, and we know Mace Windu probably did not get Grogu out because he was thrown out the window. I really doubt his first move was, I'm going to go to the Jedi Temple to go save one child.
I agree.
Something tells me Yoda knew that this was coming, and he knew the day of reckoning was coming, and Grogu was saved before that day, removed from the Jedi Temple, and said, we're going to put him somewhere else, somewhere safe.
It's 100% possible. I
honestly think at this point, I think Yoda has to be the one that saved Grogu from the Jedi Temple, and he did it
that
ahead
woke.
of time.
Yeah,
He would have known that it was coming.
that's possible. It's 100% possible.
I want to see that play out. I want to see that revelation unfold. You know, because it's in the Clone Wars. They show that Yoda knows that this day of doom is coming.
Yeah, so then if that case,
he'd be the one to foresee it and remove Grogu.
If that case, that would be the way to make sense to show Yoda. Like that would be the 100% the way to do it. But damn, that's interesting. Wow. Yeah, I like that actually. That'd be really cool. Because for sure Yoda knew about Grogu because Grogu said was being trained at the temple for years by multiple masters. So there's no fucking way that Yoda didn't know about Grogu. So yeah, because and then that goes to show in canon the reason why Yoda fled was because he was under the impression that all the Jedi died, that he failed the Jedi Order, and he was going to exile for shame, right? Mm-hmm. But wouldn't he be able to sense like Cal Kestis? Wouldn't he be able to sense Seer Junda? Like all these Jedi that survived, because now we know, like after all this like past canon, that a shit ton of Jedi survived. You know what I mean? Like a lot of them were just in hiding. Mm-hmm. Like a lot of Jedi realistically did survive. Like think about Rebels. In Rebels they had what was his name? Fuck. God.
Kanan.
Kanan was hiding. Fucking Cal Kestis was hiding. Sarah Junda was hiding. Obi-Wan Kenobi was hiding. Like all these motherfuckers were hiding.
Something also tells me that Yoda specifically instructs Obi-Wan just to tell them not to come to the Jedi Temple for a reason. Like, we're not meeting up. Just don't come here and stay in hiding because if we were to all come together, the Emperor would sense it and we would be easily tracked down and assaulted. Like, I think it was on purpose. Yeah. He just said it's better. We're safer if we all just go into exile and stay hidden until we're not seen as a threat anymore.
Yeah, I think we could definitely see Yoda in a flashback scene if they do try to explain Grogu's like departure from the Jedi Temple before Order 66. I can definitely see that, but I don't think we're gonna see Yoda like in present day with a lightsaber, fucking going crazy. What name is that?
Shakti. She's
Shakti. What Jedi is that?
she looks like Ahsoka, but she's older. She is more red than orange.
She survived?
Technically. So there's a deleted scene where she dies in Revenge of the Sith, but that's not considered canon. So she's just out there. Like they haven't really officially dealt with her fate or anything either.
Interesting. I forgot about that chick. She
also shows up in the Force Unleashed. Yeah, you kill her as.
But Force Unleashed isn't
Sorry, Force Unleashed is not canon.
Yeah, it's not canon. Unfortunately, as much as I would love Starkiller to be fucking canon, that'd be sick as hell.
He was supposed to be an Inquisitor. They played with the idea of bringing him as a Force Inquisitor.
Dave Filoni, make it happen. Make it happen. Okay.
It also just goes to show that all the coolest ideas are within like Dave Filoni's mind and projects. Even if they come true or not.
Yeah, 100%. Look at that, Disney. Look at that. Make an example. You have anything else on the Bad Batch? Anything you have a theory about?
I'm just excited. I do want to see some more. I feel like they probably won't use it to help build up where Favreau and Filoni are going with, their shows in live action, but they could, and I think that's exciting that there's that possibility still.
Yeah, I really hope
so. They haven't really
so.
said much of anything.
Well, I mean, as we said, it is Dave Filoni's universe as well, and Dave Filoni loves his like he likes to have everything connect. Like he was the one that really wanted to bring Ahsoka into live action, and it worked really well. So I don't see why not going back and forth. Like they're kind of doing a Marvel thing, but incorporating it with animation more. Where compared to where Marvel is just all like live action. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I also love that Filoni is a staunch defender of the prequels and like what their messages are and stuff. And
yeah, prequels are great.
He's not afraid to reference it, and I think that was a big mistake going into the sequel trilogies, that they were afraid to reference the prequels.
That Clone Wars last season had to set up more. Set up more what? Like more for the future of the Bad Batch, or more just for like? Did you hear my theory? Have I ever told you my theory about what the whole beginning of season 7 was? Okay, so if you remember, in the beginning of season 7, there was 2 weird arcs. There was the Bad Batch arc, and then there was the Ahsoka and those 2 chicks that were nothing.
Very boring arc.
Yeah, very boring arc. I bet you they had 2 pilots in the works. They had the Bad Batch show pilot, and they had these 2 sisters as a pilot. And like the underworld of whatever they lived as a pilot. Mm-hmm. And I bet they used those episodes to see who liked what storyline more. And whatever storyline was successful, that's the pilot they went with.
I can see that.
Because those chicks had no reason to be in the show. They were in it for 2 episodes and then nothing, man. You know what I mean? And like they had so much like background and like chemistry, and they were setting up so much with the pirate world, and the way Ahsoka like left it off, she was like, "Oh, hold my speeder for me just in case I come back," like it was definitely like oh yeah, just in case this is a success and my show gets kicked off, I'll come back, and that'll be the joke or whatever. Like, I guarantee you there was 2 pilots in the works. The girls was Kathleen Kennedy's pilot.
It honestly does feel that way. And then especially like the weird kind of relationship vibes that they were giving between like Ahsoka and what's her face,
The sister.
It kind of seemed like they were
Yeah.
trying to do like a pseudo like playful like they might be lesbian, but they didn't want to like go full into it.
Yeah, dude. I remember watching that and I was
Arc
like,
boring.
bro, I was like, what is the point of this, dude? I remember someone asked me if they should watch this season of like Clone Wars, and I was like, all right, watch the first episode. That's the Bad Batch. It's really dope. And then you could skip like the next 3 episodes, and then watch like the last fucking 4. Like those are badass. Like, and then like those 3 or whatever were the girl episodes, and it was like nothing on like the girls, like nothing against girls. It's just like their characters so boring.
They had nothing to offer.
Yeah.
The most important thing that came from that
Peace out,
little
man.
mini arc, was the setup for Ahsoka knowing who Bo-Katan is, which I guess helped set up the Mandalorian. But
Yeah,
could've
but
done
that's
that in a
it.
way shorter time span.
Yeah.
than
Like, oh
the
man,
whole entire
that's
goose
why
chase type sequence.
I'm convinced that was the case. That they had
I
two
think so.
pilots in the works. They had 2 pilots in the works, and they were all like, all right. It was like a roundtable discussion, you know. They're all like, Dave Filoni was like, I think we should do the next show about the Bad Batch, and then Kathleen Kennedy was like, or we could do a show about like, yeah, how about we do a show about like a sister, a girl, and like her older sister that's like a wreck. And then he goes, I think we should do the Bad Batch. And then she goes, I think we should do the other one. And then Dave Filoni was like, well, how about we let the people decide? We'll do a little pilot for each. We'll put it on season 7, and whichever one's better or has better high praise, that's the one that we'll go with. And then she was like, you know what, fair. And then Bad Batch episode came out, was fucking sick. I remember when the Bad Batch episode came out, everyone was like, it's like, this is badass. I like these characters, but like, what's the point of this? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
everyone was like, why is this here? Like, they're dope as hell, but why introduce this?
I think that season 7 should have been a little bit longer. They should have allowed them to really flesh out what they wanted to flesh out instead of like cramming like, okay, well, you have 1 episode to do Bad Batch. You have 3 episodes to set up Ahsoka and what she's doing before episode 3. And then now you have to figure out how to end this all with, even though there's a ton of characters that have loose ends at this point, like Commander Cody and Wolf and Gregor. I think Wolf and Gregor was like the biggest like, are we gonna get anything that's gonna close like how they get their chips removed? Like obviously Rex is gonna go for them, but I would like to see that. I would like to see
Hopefully
how that conversation goes.
Dude, it'd be really cool if the Ahsoka show goes down that way, you know? Like, where it's just Tamora Morrison playing himself like 4 times. And like he's helping all the other clones get their chips out or some shit. Like, oh, that'd be cool, bro. Like,
yeah,
I would love to see it. But hey, man, I think that's gonna wrap it up, right?
yeah.
I think that's pretty good. I think we had a lot to talk about. Now, next week is Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which we will talk about. Maybe we'll talk about a little bit on Friday's episode.
Omega Red confirmed.
Yeah. What?
You didn't see that?
Wait. What? No. What'd you say?
Omega Red.
No, I didn't see that.
Oh, that's the mutant that everyone's claiming got leaked.
Oh man! All right, so yeah, we'll talk about that on Friday. Apparently, leaked mutant news. There's news about everyone getting the super soldier formula left and right. There's rumors about the Inhumans. So we'll talk about that on Friday. We will also, Gabe, we have a little homework. We'll try to watch the WandaVision bonus 10th episode. That's just the behind the scenes. Yeah, the behind the scenes, and then we'll talk about that. We'll talk about little Falcon and Winter Soldier. Then if any news pops up, we'll talk about that too. And then after that will be a pretty insane week. We might what? Let's see. Let me pull up a calendar here. I need to see my dates.
Are we also confirmed with Aaron about possibly doing the episode 3 tonight?
He did say we most likely will be over at the ice party like we always do.
Check out Ice Party.
Over at diet_ice at Twitch. We will be doing the Shakespeare reading tonight, I believe. Okay, let's see. Snyder Cut comes out on Thursday. Fuck. Dude.
It's here.
Really?
Commentary.
Oh no, man. Oh god. Holy shit, dude. Okay, the 19th, guys, is gonna be fucking nuts. How are we gonna do that, dude? Okay, hold on. We have to fucking figure it out.
So what I think
'Cause-
19.
'cause-
I like the idea of going more into Falcon and Winter Soldier, and then we
But-
can
but look-
we can give our opinion on.
Oh wait. It comes out the 18th, right? The Snyder Cut comes out the 18th, right?
Yeah,
So that means it comes out the 17th at night.
yeah.
Okay, would you be down to do an extra stream on the 18th?
Yeah, we can do that.
Like the
probably.
Thursday?
Oh, let's see.
Well, you think about that. We'll talk about
Yeah.
it. Because I would like to get a stream fresh right after. And then and then maybe we get Aaron too. But if you're free, let me know for Thursday the 18th. Maybe we could do an extra bonus stream that week. And then Friday would be the Falcon and Winter Soldier thing, because I personally would like to talk about Snyder Cut right after we get into it, and we're gonna be streaming that at least me and Aaron. I don't know if you'll be joining us, Gabe, or if Kevin will be joining us, but we're gonna be trying to watching the Snyder Cut right when it drops.
I might be sitting. I might be watching with my girlfriend.
Oh, okay, cool. I mean,
Thursday.
hey, that's totally fine.
So
But yeah. So I mean, well, if anything, we have to try to have it get it watched if you're free before Thursday. You know what
yeah.
I mean? Before Thursday at 2:30. But yeah, that'd be cool. I just got a text from Ben saying now he's rooting for your Yoda Grogu theory.
Let's go. Let's do it. Let's get it done.
All right, guys.
I want to see it.
Well, that's gonna wrap us up here. Thank you guys for hanging out. Ben, thank you for hanging out. Cold P, my man. Always, it's a pleasure to freaking have you in the chat. Kevin was here. Thanks for being on the show, Kevin. Awesome to have you.
Hopped in for a little
Hey,
bit.
thanks for Ebots to Ashes for linking us our link to be famous. We all appreciate. We all want to be famous. Diet Ice, we will be there. Or Diet Ice, thanks for stopping by. And Diet Ice, we will be there tonight. Hopefully, he hasn't 100% confirmed this. Will probably happen because he talked about it yesterday on stream. Where we will be doing the dramatic reading of Star Wars Episode 3. And bada bing, bada boom, and potentially Ice Party on Friday as well, I think he said. I don't know.
Down.
Go
I'm
follow
down.
Diet Ice on Twitch if you want to see our faces.
We're probably gonna have a fatter discussion on Snyder Cut on Ice Party. As
Oh
well.
yeah, because homeboy Aaron. I mean, we'll probably try to have him on the show
That's
too
his
whenever we
passion.
talk about it. But yeah, that's his passion. We also have some other segments eventually planned as well. But thank you, as I already said, thank to Kev. But super fun to have Kev on board. Kev, if you wanted to hop in the chat after to talk, we could. I'll talk to you then. But yeah, thanks for checking out, guys. Gabe, any links or anything they can find you at?
Follow me on Twitter and Instagram if you guys want them hot takes as soon as I see them.
Oh yeah, the hottest of takes, bro. Hottest of takes. And you can follow me at all the fames at Fernie the Great. You can follow Future Fandation on YouTube, where we have the VODs uploaded there as re-uploads, and we also have theories. That's always fun to do. I've done about 2 of them so far. You can also follow us on Twitter at FFandation. You can follow us on TikTok now. We have a couple TikToks in the works. That's gonna be super fun. You can follow that's it. Twitch, TikTok, and YouTube, and Twitter. And other than that, I hope you guys have a great day. It's a beautiful day, I guess. It's raining and not raining every 2 seconds here at my house, so it's on and off. So I hope you guys have a good day, and yeah, I will see you guys on Friday for the next show. All right, guys. Peace out.
Peace out.